congratulations on another win here at home. I was joking with Nick out in the tunnel saying, remember when overtime was just odd man rushes back and forth? Clearly that's not what we saw here today, just such a level of patience from your group. What does that style really allow you to open that game up in those moments?
Yeah, I mean, you want the puck. That's the main objective of overtime. You need the puck. So when you have the puck, you don't want to give it away with a bad play. So yeah, I mean, you'd like it to be up and down the ice 2-on-1s, but if you're kind of possessing it, it doesn't really allow for the game to open up like that. So I mean, that on the last play, it was a bad change by them, but good puck possession by us. Good job by our face-off guys getting the puck off the draw.
Back-to-back wins for you guys, two very different teams that you've faced over these last couple of days. Despite that, though, what were some of the consistencies that you saw within your style of play as a team?
Yeah, I think we played well tonight. We're trying to stick to a system and just play hard and competitive. And, the teams that have beaten us over the last little while, that's what they do. They just play a 60-minute game. They play competitive, and that's what we need to do. So it's a good team win out of us, and we'd like to keep it rolling now.
You as a line, you have now recently been moved to center. How do you feel like you three are really gelling together, and what do you like more about playing center than maybe out on the wing for you personally?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's my natural position, so sometimes things happen where I can't play center, but yeah, like I was enjoying playing with Nico. That's fun for me because I don't get to play with him much, so I was enjoying that, and I don't think the goals were coming, with how our game was. I thought we were playing well, but I think me, Timo, and Brader, we've been doing a good job complement each other well, and we're going to keep finding a groove. And, I think when me and Nico are on different lines and we can kind of come out, as two units, and then, Glasser's line comes out and Glennie, I think we can roll some teams over pretty good. So good 2 games for us, and we want to keep it going.
2 assists for you here today, and Nico Hischier obviously getting a pair of goals himself. We've been talking a lot about the captain as of late in our pre-games, throughout the game as well. What can you say about how he's really led this group from where you guys were in that rut to where you've gotten yourselves to here today?
Yeah, I mean, we're still in a rut, I'd say. I think if you look at our last bunch of games, we're still behind the 8 ball. So 2 good games to get it going for us, but we still have a lot of work to do to get out of this hole. And Nico's played well. We want him. I think he's played well most of the year, but maybe the puck hasn't been going in for him like it has in other years. So we hope he can get pretty hot in the second half, and good couple games for him to just not just score like tip-ins and rebounds, for him to blow the puck past the goalie a couple times. That's good for his confidence, and hopefully that'll get him really rolling.
Well, thanks so much for your time, Jack. Congrats on the win today.
Nico, that looked different than your last game, but I think that those are really important things for this group to win games differently, have different types of matchups. What did you see from this group tonight, and what was different but end result the same?
Yeah, I think you got to find ways to win hockey games, and it was definitely a different game. I think Minnesota was trying a little bit more outskill us, and these guys didn't give us much. I mean, their numbers speak for themselves. I think they're very good in defending the rush. They're not giving up a lot, and they're comfortable in playing tight games. And I think after the first, we really reacted well and took our game on another level in the right direction. Now we're going to play against these guys.
What do you mean by after that first you took your game in another direction?
I think in the first we were forcing too many plays. Again, I think there were a little bit too many turnovers again in the neutral zone, and it's you see it like how much of a difference is when we get through the neutral zone and can put pucks behind their D, and with our skating get them back instead of like turning it over and go all the way in our own net. It's not the way we want to play, so I think we did a little bit too much of that in the first, and we cleaned that up in the second and the third.
Is it especially important in the third period? They really seem to clamp it down in the third period.
Yeah, like you said, they don't give you much. They're waiting for the opponent to make a mistake, and then they're going the other way. And in the third, you saw how detailed they were and how well structured they were behind, and we kept pushing, and I thought we played a very well third, and at the end I think we deserved it. We wanted a little bit more than they did.
Nico, what are you thinking when you're coming down the ice there on that OT winner? Like, do you have time to even sort of think of how you're going to handle that with Grubauer?
Yeah, I mean, kind of, yeah. I wanted to take it on my forehand, but saw pressure coming there too, and thought, yeah, it's kind of like instinct, I guess. The last second, I'm trying to go do my backhand because I think he thinks I'm going on my forehand too, so it worked out pretty well.
What does this sort of do for this group? We talked this morning and we talked post-game last game just about, one game is not enough. And I know two won't be enough for you guys too, but just to have a bit of momentum here.
Yeah, it's good. And but for me, it's more important the way we play. That process in our game. We can change our game, and who knows, we might lose the next game, But like if we play the same way, that's the most important thing, because the way we play the last two games, that's setting our team up for more wins than losses. And in sports, sometimes you play a well enough game to win the game, but you don't. So the outcome can't always be the main factor. So I'm looking really how the way we're going to play moving forward from here.
This morning, Fitz said that this team has to get used to playing closer games. You guys did that tonight, winning closer games. Is that a point of emphasis for you guys right now?
The league is good enough. You got to be ready for those close games and be comfortable in that.
This is the way you come back, first game back, and it's the way you need to play.
Yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction. I think we stay patient tonight. We didn't open up the game as much as before, and I think we just stuck with it, stayed patient, and capitalized on our chances.
It was a back and forth game, but Marky really stepped up when he needed to.
Yeah, he was great when we, as you said, needed him. He made some big saves, and at the end, I think everything has to match. From Marky to our D-core to the forwards, I think at the end it's a team sports, and if everybody's on the same page, it's a little easier.
Sieg says something felt a little bit different around the team in the last two games, like win aside, right, in Minnesota and here, but just sort of maybe not a confidence thing, but just a little bit of levity, like that allows you to just play your game.
Yeah, I mean we had a couple meetings, and we really went over things, and. Yeah, it's when you start with a win, it gives you a little boost, and we just wanted to stack up from last game, and I think tonight we, as I said, we took another step in the right direction, and it wasn't perfect, but I think it was way better than the last couple of weeks.
And then as you're starting to or trying to sort of stack up those wins, how important is the diversity on how you're winning those games, right? Because 5-2 is very different, not only just score-wise, but the way the game sort of unraveled, to be able to win different ways here.
Yeah, I mean, they're a totally different hockey team than Minnesota was. They played very straightforward, dumped a lot of pucks, not very flashy, and they always had their guys back, and that was kind of the challenge for us, just to don't turn the puck over, just put it deep, go to work, and I think we did it most of the time tonight, and as I said, it wasn't perfect, but I think we did it enough.
What kind of boost is it when you see the captain step up like he did tonight?
Yeah, it's always good. I mean, it's the captain. He scores 2 big goals tonight, leading by example. I think if you see Nico, going to war, you definitely stand behind him and fight the war with him.
Think about the total team effort tonight.
Another good game, and they really don't give up much and kind of wait for a mistake, and they shut the inside down pretty good, and maybe not the most exciting games, but really great team effort to get the 2 points.
What do you like about the D-core and the way they were solid in front of you tonight?
Yeah, everything as usual. It's it's great. They're blocking shots, and they're breaking out, and every rim that I go out and stop too, they're exactly where they need to be. They're coming back hard for me, so making it easy for me.
What's the most important thing about winning games differently as you guys are trying to find your footing again, right? This game was different than Minnesota, a little bit in terms of not just the result or the final score, but the way the game unraveled. Like, how important is that?
Yeah, you're gonna have to be able to win different ways to be successful, I think, because the other team, they do pre-scout, and I'm sure they watch videos, so there's you need a lot of tools in the toolbox, and I think this today was a great patient game. It wasn't a ton of scoring chances, and it was hard work, get it deep, and then go from there. So I thought our guys did a great job.
Jacob, what does it do as far as a confidence booster? Confidence can wave at times of the year, but to get these two last performances for the team, confidence-wise.
Good. Winning gives more confidence than losing, so it's it makes it a lot. It's different energy when you win 2 in a row than lose 2 in a row. So we got to keep building on it, and this is how we want it to be. We want to come in after 2 wins in a row, and we want to build on that, and rest up the body tomorrow, and then come back to practice and have a good skate.
Thank you, Marky.
Hey, thanks a lot, Don. Yes, joining me now is Timo Meier. Timo, first of all, congratulations on back-to-back wins here. And looking at these 2 games, 2 very different feels and different cadences. What were some of the difficulties that were presented in this game in comparison to what you saw in Minnesota?
Yeah, obviously different kind of team. I think they play a very patient game. They're very good at defending the rush, so it took us to play a dialed-in game with the puck. We had to be disciplined and not force things, especially off the rush that wasn't there. So I think we did, for most parts of the game, we did a good job, and outstanding performance by Nico there to get us 2 points at the end.
Well, I know the guys were just singing his praises. It's easy to highlight your captain when things are going well, but to pull you guys out of this slump, I feel like he's been a part of that every step of the way. What can you say from a guy that's also in the locker room with him, how he's really stepped up to the forefront for your group?
Yeah, 100%. Just his person, obviously, and the work ethic mostly, especially in the game. I think he not a huge talker, but he leads by example, and that's contagious. If you see your captain going into the battles, coming out with the puck, and when things are not going your way, getting in the shooting lane, blocking shots, whatever it takes, those are the little things that will create energy, that will create confidence, and he's getting rewarded right now.
I know the word consistency is talked about a lot in your locker room. You get back-to-back wins here. Just curious from a player's perspective, how difficult it is to find consistency in your game when you're facing different teams every single night that present different challenges.
Yeah, it's a tough league. It's we've got a tough schedule, so that's, I think, the thing we gotta continue to work on, and I think consistency is also, you can make it hard on yourself when, especially playing a team like today, you're trying to force plays on the rush. That's not going to help your consistency. So just building off little things that are simple things, and then put your work ethic into it. Winning 50-50 battles, that goes a long way. Makes them tired, and if you can do that for 60 minutes, I believe we have the skill to win against every team.
Well, 2 in a row sounds pretty good. On to the next. Thanks so much for your time, Timo. Congrats on the win today.
Thank you very much.
On a night where it's back and forth, just how good was it to see your team stay patient along the way?
Yeah, that was one of our keys coming into the game. It's this Seattle team. They hang around. They make it hard on you. They don't give up very much. That's why they've lost 1 game in the last now 11 in regulation, because they just stay patient and they try to tempt you to beat yourself. That's kind of how they go about it. And at times I thought I'd like to see us execute a little bit better offensively, but at the same time, I didn't think we made very many mistakes defensively, which allowed us to get through the game and get the extra point.
You come back home and to get this win now 2 in a row. What does it do for your team's confidence to build on something like this now?
Yeah, I think it's important. Obviously, it certainly beats the alternative. These are 2 big points. They're important points. It's a tough game. I mean, you didn't quite know what it was going to be like here today, to be honest with you. I mean, you come back. It's our 3rd game in 4 nights here, and we travel back, and it was like 4 a.m. We get home from Minnesota the other day, so yesterday's not much of a recovery day, and you're right back to it. So to stay patient and diligent with our game for the most part and get 2 points is good. We get another recovery day tomorrow and then get ready for practice in Carolina.
You talk about staying patient and liking what you saw from them, but how key are those moments of when you're staying patient that the opponent makes that mistake and you go down the ice and capitalize just like Nico did in OT, right? Like, how important is that in a patient way, right?
I mean, patience is, we talk a lot about that in overtime. It's very easy to be impatient in overtime and to give up the puck or lose structure or change poorly. Like all of these things kind of open up the ice and open up the game. Like if you manage it well and you kind of force the opposition to make a mistake, then you kind of get what we got here tonight. So, that's, like I said, patience was a real key for us, who we talked about before the game, and it's kind of how it played out.
And then how important, as you guys are trying to sort of like gain a little traction here, is it that on back-to-back wins, they're very different games, and you found ways to win in very different circumstances?
Yeah, very different. I think Brad Shaw on the bench in the first period, I think he summed it up beautifully. I think he said that, Minnesota was trying to outscore us and Seattle's trying to outcheck us. Like two completely different hockey games. So you got to be able to find ways, to win within that. And like I said, that Seattle team, they're playing very well, coached very well, and more often than not, the other team has cracked before they have, which is why they've been winning. So it was important for us to be responsible in a game like this.
Looked like another strong showing from Dougie tonight. Was that benching just kind of like the ultimate spark, like a wake-up call for him kind of thing?
Yeah, I hope so. That's like I said this morning. When you take a guy out of the lineup, no matter who it is, it was Cotter not too long ago. You hope that it's a chance for them to kind of regroup, and sometimes it's just the fact that you're out and that kind of pushes you to like, okay, I got to be better. Sometimes it's a little bit less of a workload, and you're a little bit more rested than the other guys. Like you never quite know what it is, but I think he's done a good job for us in these games since coming back. But, I don't know what to really what to say is the reason, but we're happy with it.
Just this morning, Fitzgerald talked about this team having to get used to winning close one-goal games, and that's what you guys did today. Has that just been a point of emphasis for you guys of late?
Yeah. Obviously, offense has been harder for us to come by. So because of that, you got to go into a game expecting that. But I think it's not a bad mindset to have, no matter what the case is. We got to get better defensively as a team. But that's the bottom line. It's sometimes tricky to do that when you're not scoring. So even myself as the coach, you come to the rink a lot of days and you're focused on, okay, we got to get more offense. We got to create more. We got to do more. I don't know, the way it worked in Minnesota, the focus was the defensive piece, and then all of a sudden we're shooting pucks in the net, and lots of guys are starting to feel good about their game. So I think that's just where we got to attach our focus to is because when you really narrow it down, we've got good players that I think can score and will score, but the checking side of the game, the defending side of the game, the taking care of the game, all that is where we've got to improve tremendously.
Did you catch Grubauer shoving Hamilton after the game, and if so, what were your thoughts?
I did not catch it. I'm assuming I was making my way back to the locker room. I didn't see that. No.
Is it safe to say Dougie will remain in the lineup on Saturday, or still to be determined?
It's a wonderful question, but too early to be determined. I'm going to take tomorrow off, and we'll get back in practice, and then we'll sort all that out. We'll see where Kovacevic is at. It's going to be an important one, and determine from there.
Sorry, I know I don't have the mic, but are you seeing Nico really rise to the occasion right now? Not that he doesn't on and off, but in this moment that has been a little tumultuous for this team. I mean, it really looks in these last two games he's going to will this team in the right direction.
I think that's a great observation, and he backed it up again here today. Obviously, just a clutch goal there, but even the power play goal that I think he just kind of said, okay, enough with this. I'm just going to shoot this in the net now, and like that mentality. So today it was goals and working like that, and I thought in Minnesota it was puck battles and playmaking and just being so good in the trenches. He's this little bit. He's kind of done it all for us, and obviously you need that to continue. That's that's leadership, and the rest of the group can fall in line from there.
Sheldon, you talked about the patience of your team and how you didn't want them to break and just stick with the process. Is that a lesson they've learned when playing more teams like the Kraken throughout the season, where the team is locked up the neutral zone and you were able to pull out a win like this?
Yeah, I think so. It's the first time we've seen them, and they do a really good job. We talked about it coming into the game. They're right at the top of the league at defending against the rush. Like they're very patient, very disciplined. Don't give you a whole lot there. So the ones you do get, you got to really make them count. But aside from that, you just got to be comfortable playing in a low event hockey game. Manage the puck well, look to wear them down, have a good process. And we were hoping that we could win the special teams battle today. We were unable to do that, which ultimately is kind of why we had to go into overtime. But I think the more you play these type of games, and we've played some others, but certainly just in general when it's low scoring, and if you're a guy who hasn't been scoring, and you still got to do the right things for the team in the moment. Thank you.